back to the DMV's Vibe podcast. I am Miss Pink,
And I feel a swagger.
and today we will be talking about self care and self love. In retrospect to everything that's going on in the world right now, um, especially if you're a federal employee right now.
It's
Like
ghetto.
it's ghetto, it's stressful. Um, I would say I'm really thankful that I went to actually got up and went to church this morning because I was really struggling after yesterday, getting text messages and phone calls about the email that went out to all the federal employees. First of all, I don't understand why OPM would even allow us to send us an email asking us what we did last week. Like,
Yeah, I was like, what type of micromanaging? What?
yeah, it's giving very ghetto. And then for what I do in the department that I work in, if I was at work, I had to do something. So I just don't feel like I need to respond to that. But I feel like it came at a horrible time because I had just finished doing self care for myself. I went and got my nails done, and I had already made up in my mind like I'm not doing anything. Like doing nothing was my self care this Saturday, and
Hmm.
I just wanted to relax and relax my mind. And then that came at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday, and I was fine at first because I'm like, man, I don't deal with work stuff on the weekend. I'm not even gonna go touch that laptop. But then people start flooding you with calls, emails, things from social media. Like, please leave me alone when it comes to work on the weekend. Um, Elon and DT Wig have already have already terrorized us enough in the last 30 days that I don't want to talk about work on the weekend. That's just mm-mm.
I think that's the boundaries that we have to create. I know with me, I really try not to take work home, but the crazy thing about it is now I actually achieve a little bit more at home if I do work versus at work. But I know compared to my first year of teaching, compared to now, like I really try my best to do all my work at work. Um, they know me. I'll get to work, walking in the office, signing. Oh, did you see my? Mm-mm. Did you get my email? Mm-mm. Y'all know when I leave here, that work laptop closes, goes in that computer case, and stays in my book bag until the next day. No, I did not catch your email. If the email came after 3:30, I did not get your email. All right.
Listen, even the space I have dedicated for when I work from when I telework, I don't even go in that area. Once I'm off. Like I don't want to think about that. And I feel like sometimes people have questions, and it kind of blurs the line in your boundaries. And I had to tell one friend like, yeah, it's Sunday. Like I heard about the email. I don't touch my work equipment on the weekend. Ain't nothing against you. I apologize, but we, we'll deal with that on Monday because it's above us. It's above us.
And I understand that people are stressed out because you really don't know what your future is. But I think we also have to get to a point where we have to silence the media, silence your phones. Just thinking about all of the things that's happened in the past 30 days is so much information that is constantly being thrown at us. And it's from everywhere. It's from TikTok, it's from the news, it's from Instagram, it's from all social media
Mhm.
platforms. And I think we really have to get to a point where we create those boundaries and we just shut those things off. I always say that our eyes and ears are the windows to our souls. And we have to get to a point where it's like, all right, that's too much. Like, I'm not going to hold y'all. When the plane crash happened here, I didn't watch the news for 3 days. And it's not that I'm desensitized to what's going on because a lot of us have become desensitized to things because it happens so much. It's just
Mhm.
like this is it's too much. It's
Too
because
much, too fast.
that's all the news stories
We in the
Word.
Final Destination movie mixed with Jumanji.
Like that's just all it was. So it just was like, okay, I can't. And then even with the press conferences that these people have, I don't watch all those things. Like I literally get my news in clips, and
Mhm.
then it's like brief clips because I can't sit and watch everything because it is so overwhelming. And it's just like, oh, you know what? I don't want to watch that. And I will find ways to disassociate.
Man, the crazy thing is, so I tell a lot of people that I don't watch the news, and they always be like, "What? Well, how do I mean, I know how to read, so I don't necessarily have to watch the news all the time. If I want to look up something, or social media already throws a lot of news at us in tidbits, and so sometimes I do my own research when a topic may be brought up. I go and read. I may read something from another verified website opposed to like the Shade Room and a couple of other social media websites, because sometimes they do just as much damage as what the news does and the media does. Is they try to create a panic amongst us, and instead of getting to the real situation of what's going on. um, One of the things that I know that I'm gonna have to start doing is just staying away from social media. It is no longer a decompression place for me. Just scrolling on social media now is just like it's like having a TV on. It's either people saying something negative, people showing um 10, 15 seconds of their fairy tale life and their delusional life. Like um that is no longer a part of what I would consider self care. Like I used to sit in the car after work and just scroll, be able to come across something funny, some memes. Now it's just like you can literally scroll and it's somebody getting killed on your timeline.
I don't watch those videos. I stopped doing this in 2020, when George Floyd was murdered. I have still to this day have not watched that video, and I refuse to. And that has literally become part of my self care. Don't send me no videos of people getting shot up. Like I remember one video that somebody sent me one time with a person like blew their head off with a shotgun, and now it's like I'll never forget that image. So it's like I don't watch those type of things. I don't want to continue to force myself to go through that because you have that choice of whether to watch it, listen to it, or whatever the case may be. Um, at the beginning of the year, I took a month, the whole month of January off of social media. And when I tell y'all I'm really ready to like go back on my social media hiatus, I really am. And the thing about it is I use social media as, to share my workout journey, to share our podcast, all the other like positive things I'm doing. But it's like when you get on, it's the same stuff all the time. It's the same people complaining about the same things. And
Mhm.
then it's like the people that you know in real life, you see them post all this stuff, and it's like, but I know you for real.
Not
Like
your life.
you're not living none of that. Like, stop
Snapshot.
it. So that is a part of self care. And I think people don't understand that. Like, you unplugging from social media, from the TV, that is self care. My phone goes on D&D every night at 10 p.m. That is self care. Leave me alone. Yes, there are certain people that can still get through, and but for the most part, they not bothering me either because they sleep and I'm sleep. I literally enjoy coloring in my adult coloring book. I I watch SpongeBob probably more than the average adult because my TV stays on SpongeBob. Like those are my ways to disassociate, to decompress. There are times when I come home from work and I will sit in complete silence. Or I will turn my sound machine on and I'm listening to the ocean and LED lights. Like that is a part of self-care, because I think we always think about the physical aspect of like, okay, you get your hair done, you get your hair cut,
The
you
spa.
go to the spa, like, yeah, that's self-care too, but your mind and how you take care of your mental is super, super important, and it's to me, one of the biggest aspects of self-care.
It is definitely how you speak to yourself. Um and just in terms of just speaking in general, speaking life over people, like they say, the power of life and death is in the tongue. Um how you talk to yourself, view yourself, all of that is very important. We always talk about mental health, and we always talk about last week we said do something for you. It's okay to be selfish when you need that self care time for yourself. I'm not saying be selfish every single day, every single weekend, but it definitely need time to process everything that's going on. Um, so I was telling Phyllis that honestly, I had just mentally just checked out in the last 24 hours, and um, I feel like all my creativity was out the window. I just felt, I'm not gonna say overstimulated, but slightly overwhelmed. And it's a mixture of adulting, a mixture of um, what's going on here. As far as every single day, I feel like it's another plane, something else that happened, something with our finance and economics, and it's just too much. And while I had a lot of jokes the last couple of weeks and getting through this first 30 days, this 30 days done felt like 3
Listen,
years. This 30 days has been long.
it was like a few weeks ago, and I really thought that we had already went through a month of this debacle, and we hadn't. They was like, "Oh, it's only day to 15," and I was like, "What?" Because
Yeah.
it feels like 30 days, and it's just when we really think about just everything that's going on, like now it's really like we gotta take a rest, like we gotta rest our mind. And I know that people minds is going a million miles a minute because we don't know. Like as a teacher, I don't know what's going to happen with the Department of Education. Um, I mean, just forget a student loan. Just erase all of those.
Yeah, you can take them.
You could just
Hey, if
erase
you
them.
take them, my points, my score will probably go up the last 50 to 60 points I need.
Listen, get rid of them because you ain't getting them back. Like you dismantling everything. Just that's self care. Help
Yeah,
me.
and they didn't lower nothing. Hey, this administration hasn't done anything for this, and I know y'all always, we always say we don't talk about politics, but that's just the state that we're in right now, where you can't ignore it. It has to be talked about how to survive it. Um, it's no way to plan for it, unfortunately. Only thing you can do is take it day by day, process it down. Whether you write it down, talk it out with someone else. Told y'all that we talk a lot of times in our sisterhood circle. We talk
Mhm.
about things, and sometimes we try to find um, constructive ways of approaching the conversation. So sometimes it is a lot of jokes in there. And
Mhm.
sometimes it's a lot of us just venting, saying things that we know if we put it out on social media, somebody from one of them three-letter agencies might might come after us. For real. So I hope my FBI agent or CIA agent that be looking at all my stuff on my phone know that I just be playing, like it ain't that deep. You ain't gotta come get me or nothing. But we definitely wanted to talk about just how to show yourself love during this time, give yourself grace. I know you had a group that you started at your school.
So I started a group called Powerful, which is a group for young girls, and we are just basically pushing each other up, helping each other, building a sisterhood, building self esteem. So what I just noticed with this generation, especially these young ladies, is they really don't know how to love on themselves because they aren't taught to love themselves. When I ask them, and this is a young man too, because I for 2 years I taught all boys, and I did the same type of like SEL type of activities with SEL, social emotional type of activities with the boys. And I would ask them like, what do you like about yourself? And they could not tell me anything that they liked about themselves. Um, and I would say, okay, well, how are you as a friend? And they couldn't describe those things. So when I started working with the girls that I work with now, like my biggest thing was teaching them how to have self-esteem, love yourself, love things about yourself. So I did a Valentine's Day event for them. We did a self-care little thing where I did their makeup for them, and then we had like a whole little dressing room set up, and then we went across the hall to my classroom and I decorated it, and they had custom made lip glosses, they had food or whatever, and I talked to them about the different levels of self-care. Um and one of the first ones were being self-aware.
Mhm.
And I think that there are a lot of adults that aren't self-aware. And I
Absolutely.
was just talking to them about knowing who you are. Now, granted, they're young, so as they grow, who they are is going to change until they really reach who they truly are, until they stop that well, won't say you ever really stop, but once they really find out who they truly are and continue to grow into that potential. Um, and I feel like I'm a very self-aware person, and I've become even more self-aware as I go through my therapist journey. Therapy, people, go to talk to the lady, talk to the lady. Um, but I think the biggest thing that in this what we feel right now to take away from talking to them about self-awareness is being self-aware and knowing when you are starting to feel some type of way, recognizing those feelings and those emotions. I always talk to them about there are more emotions and feelings outside of being sad, happy, um mad, angry. Like there are other, and you may be anxious, you may be nervous. There are multiple emotions that we can feel that are just
Mhm.
outside of those. So being self-aware and then trying to find a way to self-regulate in the middle of being self-aware.
One of the things that I would say as an adult that I learned while I lived in Texas is you never pay attention that a lot of people's happiness is tied to things
Mhm.
and they don't know how to just be happy. Um, One of the things that when I was attending the church there, the pastor said is um, happiness isn't taught. Happiness is something that you have to find on your own and it's your responsibility. And so I feel like that ties into self care is find ways to be happy that aren't tied to a like, a dollar, um, some
People.
right people, places. Sometimes it's just finding something that you like and that doesn't require you to put much into it, and you're not expecting it to give you anything back. Um, just finding something. For me, I would say the one thing that I do, I talked about before, is I go for drives. Sometimes just changing the environment can help your mental space, especially for a lot of people who work from home. So now I'm back in the space where I only go into the office once a week. So I do need to escape. Sometimes it's because even though I have a space dedicated for work, because I've been there all day, that energy stays there. And
Mhm.
so I have to find something to do with that energy and going for that drive. And sometimes I call it the drive to nowhere, where I just go in circles and places. And I didn't went in neighborhoods I didn't even know existed. Um, that's part of what I do for self care and not just, getting my hair done. Since I have started my lock journey, I would say getting my hair done is not, I'm not gonna say therapeutic, but I don't look at it the same way I used to. Um, because it was a portion of life where if my hair didn't lay down the way I wanted to do, yeah, you can guarantee I'm not gonna be there. But I would say on this journey, it has helped me look and handle things a lot differently, look at myself differently, which comes back to that self love. And so it definitely helped me tap into that, even though I was already on my natural hair journey. I hadn't put any enhancements or any type of chemicals in my hair years before I locked my hair. But it's definitely helped me learn how to love myself more in different phases and different stages.
Um, so for me, so I do an abundance of things. So self care for me definitely is going to the gym, but that's just like a given. That's the way I decompress. Getting my nails done, that's in my budget, been in my budget for ever. So for me, some of my self care stuff is I like to call out, you know, plan call out. I'll tell my AP I'm not coming tomorrow. Um, so call out, use the PTO. But I like to call out, and sometimes I'll, of course, go work out that morning, and then I like to go to Annapolis, especially while everybody's at work and I'm not, because it's things to do. It's a lot of people, so I like Uncle Julio's. I love going to eat by myself. I love going to sit at the bar by myself. So I will go sit at Uncle Julio's bar, have whatever, how many margaritas I feel like that day. Okay. And then I just go over to Annapolis Mall and I walk the mall. And I don't always buy stuff. It's just I'm by myself. Nobody's bothering me. It's not a lot of people at the mall. It's not a lot of kids here. So I would do stuff like that. Or it's been times where, like Pink said, which you just don't do anything. And I've had that. Like, I am looking forward to a Saturday. I haven't had one in a while where I'm just not doing anything. And when I say anything, I'm not doing anything. I might go to the gym, but that's not like a hard thing for me to do because it's something I enjoy.
Yeah, that's already a part of your schedule.
Right. So I'll go to the gym, but then literally I will come home, shower, and I won't do anything. And it'll be like a lazy day. And I'll sit around and I might binge watch something. Or I might watch a movie. I also, if it's in the budget, I go get facials. I go get massages. Um, what else do I do? I don't know. I do a lot of things by myself because I believe it or not, I'm such the non-social social butterfly, and because I'm involved in so many different things, and I'm always around people and everywhere, like from school to school work, from church, the gym. Like I have social circles everywhere, so sometimes like it gets to a point where it's like, all right, my social battery is being depleted, and now I want to go in the house. And that's what I do. I very much will leave you at the function.
And so and with that being said, like, it's okay to say no to some things. Like, there are so many different ways that you can say no. If someone is requesting your presence, just tell them, be upfront and honest. Like, you know what, like my social level is a little bit low. My energy is a little bit low. Like, I can't commit to that.
And people need to stop getting in their feelings when you tell them no.
Yes. And don't let people tell you, like, I know when we was growing up, like when we were teenagers, people always saying you got to use your time wisely and hustle this and hustle. No, take some time
Go to
to
sleep.
rest. Take some time.
Sleep when I'm dead. What? No, sleep today.
Yes, because not sleeping, you'll be dead earlier because your body needs to rest. And a lot of people don't understand that if your body does not get the rest that it should, that's why a lot of y'all be sick and y'all still be coming to work sick and just giving germs to other people, please stay home when y'all sick.
Yes, because some of y'all, some of y'all don't wash your hands. Don't cover your mouth when you cough or you sneeze in your hands. I seen it with my own eyes at the workplace.
And she worked with germ incubators too.
Yes, y'all know who it is.
Yeah. Germ incubators. It is definitely different now, as I explained, like having a germ incubator in my house. Them elementary kids,
Listen,
toddlers, their germs hit different. Um,
the worst flu I ever had was when I worked at elementary school. Man, and they was taking us out one by one. One person be out, they come back, then somebody else gone. Like we was out. It was to the point where the school nurse was like, "Go home. You're always here. You're sick." And I was gone for 4 days. I left early, then I was gone for them 3, but I had to come back because that doctor's note.
Listen, I told y'all, but at my job, by that third day, you can't come back to work without no doctor's note. I had the flu at the beginning of the year. I just want to tell y'all, first of all, it's the worst time to be sick because everybody and their mom. It seemed like everybody and their mama was sick after New Year's. I don't know where y'all was at because the only place I went was church. I don't know where y'all was at though. But y'all could have left them germs right there. I missed probably like only reason why I really did miss a lot of work is because I was in training. Like I was working from home and I was in training. They just couldn't ask me to talk because my voice was gone. My voice was gone for like a week, and I was sick for like 2 weeks. I don't know what it was other than they said it was the flu. It didn't feel like the flu.
Yeah, I don't know what's going around, but I'm gonna need for y'all. This is a part of self care too. Y'all need to start taking the vitamins and supplements. Now we are getting older. Those of us that are 35 and older, we're pushing 40. Um, so it's
She ain't
important.
have to drop it like that. But
I'm just saying, we look good though. So it is important that you take your vitamins and your supplements, to help you get through life. Yes, it's very interesting to me when I meet men who are in their 45 and older community and they don't take no vitamins. Like what? Like, sir, you need those vitamins. See, 50 is
yeah,
around the corner for you. So
and a lot of people need the vitamins because they have poor eating habits. Like at this age, I just don't feel like stop eating fucking chicken nuggets and French fries. like, bro, what vegetables do you like eating? Like, you don't eat no vegetables, no fruit. Like, what is wrong with some of y'all?
Yeah, that's true. Drink your water. Hey, some of y'all don't drink enough water. Um,
Friend, I'm not gonna put you on the spot, but I got one friend that I swear I don't think that I've ever seen him drink water. Ever. He don't stink, but I don't think that I've ever seen him drink water.
yeah, I just you need water. Water helps our hair. It helps our skin. Um, yeah, you need those things. I'm trying to tell y'all, self care literally involves you taking care of yourself holistically. We're not just talking about what you look like on the outside. We're talking about from the inside out, from the mental to the emotional, like everything. Because you need that. And I tell people all the time, and I tell my students this: how you feel about yourself on the inside really reflects outwardly.
Mhm.
Even
Other people can see that, whether you
yes,
realize
when
it
I
or
go
not.
to work, if I have on all black, they already okay, you not in the mood today, you not feeling that. Because I always wear color. I don't wear all black. That's not really, well, I do wear all black at the club, but I be standing on business. I'm not gonna see my brothers. Don't bother me. But for the most part, like I don't wear like all black all the time. So especially at work. So they already know what type of time I'm on. And so that's why, like I say, how you feel on the inside definitely translate on the outside. You can tell, especially when it come to work, what type of mood I am based on how I'm dressed. They already know because I always present myself a certain way. And I feel like we see that when people are struggling mentally, when people start losing weight in an unhealthy way, or they start gaining weight, or you start to notice that they're drinking more, or they're doing certain things like that, that mental part is affecting them. So now it's coming out on the physical part. So when we talk about taking care of yourself, you have to take care of yourself as a whole. This is why we push mental health so much, because you need that. That plays such a major part in your life, and people really just don't. I'm not gonna say people really don't, but some people just, they haven't really discovered that within themselves and how well that translates together.
That self reflection and accountability. I never seen so many adults scared to be by themselves.
Yeah, that's strange.
Now, I'm a person who I can do a lot of solitude. Every once in a while, I'll be like, let me go socialize. Then I come right back to my solitude. Um, but I didn't realize it was that many like adults who like just consistently have to be.
It's a lot of people that just always gotta talk to somebody, that always has to be around somebody, be in somebody's presence. And I've never been that female. And that part of it for me, I think one thing is because I grew up by myself. So it could go one or two ways when it comes to people that are like only children. Because I've met people that said they struggled with being by themselves, and they felt some type of way because they didn't have any siblings or anything like that. Me, on the other hand, I never felt that way, but I also came from a big family, so I was around people, around cousins and stuff like that. But when I was by myself, I found ways to entertain myself, and I didn't have a issue being in the house by myself, being alone. And even now as an adult, like, I'm okay being by myself. Like, my phone is dry. And I love it though. I'm not mad, no complaints. Like, I'm okay because I'd rather it be dry than it be 50, 11 people trying to talk to me, or people that I'm not even interested in entertaining them.
I saw a
Whatever the case
meme.
may be.
They said we used to be pressed waiting for 7 o'clock for the minutes and text messages to be free. And now look at us playing for unlimited everything and don't even
Okay.
use it.
Unlimited everything. Don't nobody, ain't nobody calling, texting this phone like that.
Um, I think one of the things that we should focus on for self care and self love is focus only on what you can control. Some of the things that, though it may affect us eventually or possibly, if it's something that's above and out of our control, we got to remember what's meant for us is meant for us. Um, and that whoever you believe in, before I say this, I'm going to say whatever God has in store for me is not going to miss me. So I have to keep that in my mind and for it to ground me to know that whatever's going on, um, government wise, however it may affect me, it will either it is or isn't going to happen, and it just is what it is.
That's kind of the approach that I have taken with what's going on in the political world. Um, it's kind of just like, what can I do? Like, this 92 percenter is really resting because it's out of our hands right now. Well, it was in our hands, but the people voted for what they wanted. So what we're seeing is exactly what they said they were going to do. That's why you should have read Project 2025. But anywho,
And we had a show about that.
we definitely did have a show about that. But anywho, I just kind of been my approach. Like, it's sad because I've seen people that have been affected. I know people that have been affected by what's going on. So I hurt for them. Now for the other ones that voted, I don't. I don't feel any empathy or sympathy
Seen a
towards
lot
your
of
situation.
videos
because
Tiki the talketh.
yeah, because y'all was now where the black women at? Where the black here
We are
minding our
resting.
business,
We're resting.
resting. So that's kind of the approach that I've just been taking with everything that's been going on. It's like,
And I think that's what they're waiting for. Like they're waiting for us to show up and show out.
we've been
And
showing up for the last 64 years. No, thank you.
I'm gonna be honest, this gonna sound bad, but like January 6th and all them people who got released and all those charges dropped, once them people start getting affected, that's when it might wake something up. But this is not, it's not our fight, it's not our battle. It's time for a lot of us did vote for the people that we have sitting in the Senate and the Congress now, our representatives and mayors and governors. So it's ultimately it's in their hands. And it's not our fight. We got to sit it out because it doesn't matter what we do now. If we try to start doing something about it, it's going to turn into we is incarcerated. And we don't even need to add to that number.
And we don't, and we won't. And that's just that.
Um, Another thing is it's okay to feel everything at one time or nothing at all. However, whatever feelings you have, address them. All your feelings are valid, and don't let anyone tell you that they're not. But find a healthy way to process those feelings and that energy because you don't want to be bleeding onto other people.
I think also we don't realize that when we hold in certain things, they manifest in our bodies. When we hold in our feelings and emotions, and then also that's why some of us have disorders, high blood pressure, stuff like that, because we holding on to stuff and holding in stuff and not letting it out in a healthy way. And yes, it's nothing wrong with feeling how you feel. I tell my kids this, my students this every day. Like your feelings are your feelings, and nobody can ever take those away from you. Um, it's just a matter of, especially if you are in a darker space or a sad place, you don't want to stay there. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
the biggest thing. It's okay to feel how you feel, just don't stay there. And of course find healthy coping mechanisms and healthy ways to deal with it. And I just feel like in this the world that we live in, it's right now in this country, it's harder to do certain things because finances come into a play and stuff like that. But fine, there are a lot of free stuff that you can do
Yes.
just to center yourself. I know sometimes
There's
being
a lot
by
of free museums.
museums, yes, being by water is always recharging for me. That's why I can't wait for it to warm up so I can start running again at the lake, and go see my turtle friends. Don't judge me. But yeah, so I feel like it's just something that we just need to really think about, um as far as small things, small wins, like the
Mm-hmm.
small,
Celebrate small wins.
celebrate those small wins, even in everything that's going on. Like still celebrate those accomplishments, still celebrate those things because life really be lifing out here, and people really be struggling or really out here struggling. But we finna see survival of the fittest, and y'all know, as Kendrick said, they not like us, and we gonna be all right. That's what he said.
That was the theme song the whole time we was protesting downtown. The first time DT Wig was in there.
Yeah.
That was the theme song. All right. Um, it's important to have a community, and your community does not have to be the people in your neighborhood. It does not have to be even your blood family members. Create a community that you feel safe to be able to share with, vent with, do activities with that can lift your spirit, people that can pour into you and you pour into them. Um, is really important. It doesn't have to be all females, doesn't have to be all males. Just find a really good community of people because it can help, especially with your daily mental health. It can definitely help a lot when you have someone who, as I shared in our group, if it's not fearless, somebody in the group is going to say something.
Mm-hmm.
Say something that is uplifting, and not everybody starts their day the same way. And so you don't know what someone else had to deal with before they got to their phone,
Mm-hmm.
before they got to that message that paused and changed their energy. Um, I always say this when I have to go into the office is the energy that you have to deal with just to get to work is enough for me to be like, F this job. Because the commute and the fact that some of y'all be on the road just angry in the morning, like, what the fuck really be going on with y'all in the morning? Like, did you not get your coffee? Did you spill coffee on yourself? Like, I don't know. Y'all just too aggressive in the morning.
That's how I feel about y'all kids. It's
Ooh,
in the building at 8:20. Why you so mad? Cause so was it. It's 8:20. Why you so angry? And I know that stuff happens, but it's like, come on, it's 8:20. Why we hollering and screaming about what somebody they be arguing that just for you parents. They argue back and forth in the notes on Instagram. Um yeah, and it in the morning now I do have slight road rage. It's slight. If you've ever been on the phone with me and been while I'm driving, you've heard me,
but you don't
okay?
just leave the house with road.
But I don't
Somebody,
leave the
somebody,
house.
yeah,
Yeah, I just don't wake up and
somebody
like
activates that
I
shit.
don't be like that. Like I wake up in the morning and I'm um listening to my gospel, taking a shower, getting ready, you know what I'm saying, getting my little kiki in or whatever. That's how I start my mornings. Like I'm not just waking up angry, but some of y'all really go to bed mad, wake up mad. And you be like, dang.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it don't even be nothing that you really need to be that mad over. Like
What they saying, baby boy? Why you gang banging on baby? like, man, I just don't understand. Like, I'm not gonna lie. On a lot of my commutes now, if I know I gotta fight traffic, I gotta listen to gospel music so I don't cuss the whole way. Cause
now
I feel like if I
sometimes I
start
still slip up with Jesus playing in the car.
every once in a while,
You
cause
know
there's
my heart.
somebody who I swear it was like this close to taking my life, and I kind of lost it, like to the point where it's a reason why I can't travel with certain weapons in my car because of the way that some of y'all drive on the road. I just don't understand how some of y'all got licenses and most of the time it say Virginia tags when we look. Regardless of what y'all say, them people with Virginia tags,
Cause most of
I
them
don't
from
know
the city.
I don't know how or who taught y'all how to drive, but
Nobody.
just pushing on the gas pedal does not make you a good driver.
I'm crying.
Um, yeah, because we don't want to deal with that in the morning. Like, fix your energy, get a community, get some, listen to gospel, listen to something other than shoot, shoot, bang, bang.
Trying to tell y'all, like I don't know how. I use Rod Wave as an example. That young man is clinically depressed. I don't care what nobody says. Let me put my masters to use. Because when you listen to his songs, he is sad. He is really, really sad. And the kids love him. There is no Rod Wave that is being played in in my classroom. The kids know this. Now, can we? No, we cannot.
Yeah, I don't know more than two songs, and then I don't even have them on my playlist. It's because
I only
somebody else.
know the two songs because of the one band. I don't know the "Come Outside" song because of Bishop,
Mm,
and then I forgot what the other one was. "Heart on Ice" because of Bishop and Damo. That's the only reason I know them songs. Other than that, You will not see no Rod Wave over here.
Yeah, it was him. It was the other boy that got killed, the other rapper, X
Oh,
Young.
Extension. Yes, like their
Yeah,
music is so,
very sad.
it's sad.
Not gonna lie, some of the I understand how you can get caught in just the sound of the music and the beat. I get it. But when you actually break it down and start listening to the words in some of these songs, like, Lord, this is some sad,
Word
fucked up stories.
words really do have power. So when we're talking about that self-care, that self-love, like, and you spoke on this earlier, how you speak over yourself. Like, I talked to my girls about that in my girls group, how reframing how you say things. Like, a lot of times, like, I have gotten out of the habit of it's always something when something happens, because it's not always something. So, and that was something that my mother used to be like, don't say that. When she was talk to my dad. And so now that's something that I try to like
Mhm.
go by. Like, it's not always something. Things happen, it's okay, and we move forward. If it's something that's out of my control, it's nothing I could do. If it's something I could do to fix it, then I try to fix it. But I try not to make it seem like stuff is always happening to me. Negative things are always
Mhm.
happening to me, because I think we do that all the time. Oh, it's always something. It's always something happening to me. It's always, and it's not, but it's not though. It's just that we've had this one slight inconvenience at this moment. And so we just got to figure it out and just got to move forward with things. So I do think we that people is to speak positive, speak over yourself. Like, I've had men tell me I need to humble myself, I'm too cocky, I'm this, that. No, because I really think I'm the shit, and
Yeah.
nobody can tell me otherwise. So I'm always going to speak life over myself. I'm always going to speak positive things over myself, because when you are constantly around those negative things, you start to consume that. That's who
Mhm.
you start to become.
Exactly.
And that's not even just with the things that you say to yourself, but also the people that are around you as well. I'm at the point now when people get to doing all that, I'm like, all right, have a good day.
Mhm.
When you get to hollering, not when I holler and scream no more, because I don't tolerate that no more. My ex is the moment you raise your voice at me, you got to go. But when people get into that whole negative talk, like, okay, all right, be blessed. Talk to you
Yep.
later, because I don't want to hear that.
I started incorporating what my job said we can do. We can hang up, disconnect calls when people start going left with their conversation and their words. That's how I carry that into my personal life. Like, if you are speaking on saying talking about too much negativity, I'm probably getting ready to wrap this conversation up and find a way out of it. Um, a lot of people don't understand, like, when you're someone who can, I don't want to say feel other people's pain, but sometimes your energy can transfer to people. And so that's one thing I can't do right now is I'm not in the mental space to take on other people's problems. Um while I do have empathy and sympathy to a lot of things, I can't do the negative. I can't do
Mm.
anything negative. I don't care if it's not even about me and you. If it's about somebody else and it's negative, I don't really want to indulge in it. Because as soon as you start to indulge in those things, you open up a pathway for other negative things to happen to you.
Mm-hmm. That's something that I really had to learn, especially as someone who is an empath. And like, I literally take on everybody's feelings, everybody's problems, and I take all that stuff on, and then my stuff goes to the back burner. So
Hmm.
now I'm in that place where I try not to do that, and it's hard because what people don't see as someone who's a teacher, I there are certain kids that I worry about all the time, and I know that people be like, oh well, these teachers don't care. No, there are some students out here that I really like, am hoping that they come to school on Monday, that I hope that they actually was able to get a meal, that they actually stayed somewhere warm. I always tell my students, get home safe, love y'all, hugging on them and stuff like that. And so there have been even times this school year where I have lost sleep because I'm worried about a child and taking on the stuff. So that's why for me it's like my job already in itself is heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like having to deal with other people's stuff. And even when I am dealing with the things that I'm dealing with, a lot of people wouldn't believe what I was dealing with because y'all can't never see that on my face. It's
Definitely.
never on my face. So it's just like you really, for me, especially now, my mental health is really, really important to me. And if I can't do it, I just can't do it. And I'm very vocal about. I know I don't have the mental capacity. Like I just don't. You know what I'm saying? Like when my church get their new building, I'm not doing children's church. I don't have them. I work with kids Monday through Friday. Love the children, but I need a break too. And I realize that as educators in all spaces, they always want us to work with kids.
Um,
No, leave me alone.
I worked with kids for about 8 years, and it was the most rewarding and draining experience because I worked with them through parking planning and through Prince George's County. Um, all I'm gonna say is, if you can afford for your child to go to another school system other than PG County, please do it.
Don't send them to DC. Don't
Um,
send them to DC then.
or be involved with with the team of teachers that your child may work with, because as someone who worked in Prince George's County school system, there are a lot of teachers there that don't care. There are some that do, but it's very limited now. That's why there's a shortage of teachers. Um, just it was a very hard experience working with Prince George's County schools. While I loved working with park and planning, because those kids, it wasn't, we had structure, but it wasn't just all about teaching.
Mm-hmm.
We got to see different sides of them. It was a space where I first started learning to be creative, and when it comes to working with kids and getting them to express themselves in other ways and introduce to them different things. There were some kids who didn't know about tropical fruits. It was some vegetables that they never even tasted. Like, it was a lot of programs that I got to start at Suitland Community Center that I'm very grateful for. But children, and my heart really goes out to teachers. Um, children are complicated because, like you said, you worry about them when they leave you, because they when children feel safe with you, they share things that sometimes you would not imagine.
Baby, I'd be like, oh,
And it
why?
makes it very hard, and it pulls on your heartstrings where you want to do so much, but you still have to have a boundary
Mm-hmm.
about it. Um, I miss it, but I ain't gonna lie, I could not. As someone who wants to have a kid, I could not go back to that.
Listen,
She's just gonna be the auntie, y'all. Y'all
I'm
just
trying to tell y'all because y'all, people who are in education and then go home and have to be a parent,
shout
like
out to
y'all
them.
really are superheroes to me because work is like for me it's draining. Don't get me wrong, my students I love them to death. They get on my nerves, but they know I care about them. And but when you are a favorite,
Hmm.
it is exhausting. And every school that I've worked at, I've always been one of the kids' favorites. So the kids are always coming to me, telling me everything. Like, especially when I worked in high school, man, them children, they was having more sex than me. And I just was like, wait, why? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Things you have
telling me
to
about
do.
they the STDs and like y'all. So these are all the things that I'm taking home. Plus, on top of somebody getting locked up, somebody got shot at. Like these are all of the things that I listen to. And even now in middle school, like a lot of students have experienced death. I work in the city, so some of them have experienced family members dying, family members being taken by the police, or they'll come to school. They didn't sleep the night before because it was a shooting outside of their apartment complex, and there was police out there
The trauma.
all night long. So these are all the things that, especially as a teacher who actually cares, I take in those things. So honestly, it's funny because I literally told my therapist I don't even feel like I'm in therapy necessarily for what I originally went for. Now I'm just in there to help me cope with work because
Mm-hmm.
it's so much that goes on with work, and it's not even just the students; it's the adults as well. Because it's a couple coworkers I would like to slide, but I can't, because I like my paycheck. So, so
Mm-hmm.
it's just like there's a lot of things that teachers experience, and I really wish that people would extend us a little bit more grace. Now, don't get me wrong, I have worked with teachers where if I had a child, they would never be
Mm-hmm.
in their classroom because they are terrible educators. And I'm not even talking about like how they teach just as a person, they're
Mm-hmm.
terrible to children. So, but I just feel like those who work in any type of service industry in this climate, please extend us some grace. Because especially if somebody that works in a government agency that services people, I know that y'all need y'all services, but y'all gotta understand what's been going on in the news. So it's like you gotta extend people grace. I know you frustrated, but they frustrated too because they
Mm-hmm.
don't know if today or tomorrow they last day at work, all this other stuff that's going on. Same thing with teachers. Like we have our own stuff that we have to deal with personally every day. Like I told one of my colleagues the other day, I said, actually, no, I told my girls this. I said, as adults, we come to work. What we got going on, we can leave that outside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we got to come in here for 8 hours, and we got to be the best Miss So and So or Mister So and So or Coach or whatever for the 8 hours that you're here. And then when we leave, that what we left at the door, we picking that right back up, and now we got to go deal with what we got to deal with for ourselves after dealing with everything for y'all for 8 hours. And so that's why it's really, I feel like, especially as teachers, it's really important to find ways to decompress and to find ways to express yourself. That's why I'm working on something for my staff. We working on something. I'm on the Sunshine Committee, like to teach them, because I feel like people don't do that, especially in the service industry. Like
Mm-hmm.
because they go through so much, they take on everybody else. And then I don't know what it is, but it's like people just love telling me their problems. Like I don't even know you. Like so it's like when you have that type of spirit and you have that type of energy on you, like yes, you find a way to decompress and
Yeah. So, as it's my job now, I work with the public and I don't work with kids. I had days where I actually do miss working with kids because it makes more sense when a child does not listen to you as
mhm.
opposed to an adult. And so, I'll say shout out to the customers who have been really nice and said kind words over this last week. To the ones who have been difficult, though, um, please understand that the world does not revolve around you and your individual issue. There are billions of people who are in the same predicament as you. As she said, um, give them federal workers grace. I watched people get emails saying they got fired in the middle of the day. People who are required to still work through a certain amount of time, even though they won't have a job after a certain time. Like, I'm not gonna lie, if you tell me that I won't have a job after such and such a day, how do
Child.
you expect me to still give good quality? Because it's gonna be F the quality, F this job. because there you're messing with my livelihood.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just please, as someone who, whatever your job is, your job title is, if you have to call into another place to get service, just extend grace, because it's not just the federal workers right now. As she said, we don't know what's going to happen with Department of Education.
Sure don't.
It's some people who lost their job and having to go back into the workforce now, and a job that has nothing to do with their degrees. And trust me, as much as they may not want to be there, they still showed up to work to serve the public. So please extend them grace and understand that we're trying our best to keep our personal feelings outside of what you and the public may need. And while we understand it's frustrating for you, trust me, it's frustrating on the other side. Don't let social media have y'all out here in y'all feelings about something that's not, everything that you see is not true.
Mm-hmm.
You really have to decipher through it, do your due diligence as far as doing the research. But don't be out here comparing your life to other people. And right now, I see a lot of people talking about, I want to go to this country, I want to go to that country. It's different when you living somewhere and when you visiting somewhere. So I'm not gonna say that I necessarily want to go to another country, because I haven't visited a country where I have said I could live here yet.
The only one was Puerto Rico, but that was in San Juan. So, but no, I couldn't because they don't pay their teachers anything.
Mm,
Mm-mm.
trash. Yeah, now, no, a lot of places look real nice on the internet, and then when you actually live there, it's
Mm-hmm.
completely different. Like I saw a lot of us was moving to out Dubai, and Dubai got a lot of rules and regulations. Like, don't go over there playing with their culture. And it's, if y'all decide to move anywhere, just make sure y'all do y'all research. That's all. The best thing I can tell you is make sure you do your research before you move anywhere. Learn the law.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I guess we can do closing for self care.
Okay, we can wrap it up.
We can do closing. The wind down Sundays and Wednesdays. Sometimes it's a part of my self care.
Oh, because one thing I'm gonna do is gonna have wine and all those good things. All right, so I'm just gonna leave y'all with some few tips on how to love yourself. As y'all know, I'm really big on words and self love and self care. So these are some of the things that I just wanted to leave you with. So remind yourself you're one in 8.2 billion people. There's only one you. Okay. So everybody is unique in their very own individual person. So walk in that, believe that. Um, Reminders that it's okay to make a mistake and not be too hard on yourself. Okay, so you know the culture of what's going on in the world today. Please don't be too hard on yourself because a lot of us don't have rainy day funds. Okay, don't compare yourself to others. So don't sit up here, unplug, get off social media because that person that you may feel like is doing better than you may actually not, may be a whole facade. Okay, remember setting boundaries is okay. Okay, that is standing up for yourself. That is part of self respect. Taking some time for yourself, even if it's a few minutes. Um, Shows that you are worthy of your own attention. So take some time for yourself, even if it's just like a moment, 5 minutes, whatever. Take that time. So always speak positive of yourself. So daily affirmations that provide self love. So cliche ones like I am enough. My favorite line is I'm really her or I'm really big dog. Like I say these things to myself. Y'all probably would think I'm crazy, but I tell people all the time I might be little sister, but I'm really big dog because I really am the big dog.
Yes, she
Okay.
really does say those
I
things.
really do say that. Okay. So taking care of your body. So work out, eat right, drink your water. I'm trying to tell you, this is all a part of loving yourself. And be aware of positive things that make you feel alive and do more of it. So, like we said, find something fun and positive to do to help you decompress. When you do those little, give yourself little acts of love all
Hmm.
the time. And that little act of love could be going to your favorite restaurant. Like I like 7-Eleven honey buns. That's my little act of love that I'm gonna give myself this week. And yes, I'm gonna go to the gym and run it off. But give yourself little acts of love. So I challenge everybody for the next 7 days to give yourself one little act of love every day. And always remember to live fearless.
um, I would say the message would have to be Phyllis touched on all the things that you can do for yourself for self care and self love. We said it last week, and I know I said it jokingly about if y'all can test out them hoes, test out the therapist. But I really do mean that for real. Um, that can be a part of your self care. A part of helping you build a self care plan for yourself can start with the therapist. Um, don't let your comfort zone be your casket, meaning try new things. Um, the worst thing you can do is be stuck somewhere and not want to take that step to try
That was
something
talking
else,
about that at
to try
church today.
something new.
Praise God.
Um, because that may be just the thing that you need to break past where you are stuck at. We hope that y'all tune in with us. We are going to continue our conversation in regards to grief. We felt like last week was a pretty heavy
Yes.
episode. Y'all got to see us in a different light and very vulnerable. Um, so we hope that y'all tune in with us next week. We will see y'all live. Thank y'all for joining us. We love
Love
y'all.
y'all. Bye.